Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel Elkana, and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Pre-Market Info.
Well, we're down 2 points here, but they do potentially have a debt ceiling deal they're talking about kicking the can down the road to February the 7th. Obviously, nothing's done yet, but that's what the rumors are telling us.
You got to pop overnight. I got to 1709.75, worked ourselves way into the 1700 handle, but now we've pulled back. We are trading under the low from yesterday at 0650, so you got to respect that along with the close. Coming on the downside, Dennis, we do have light support here coming down. You know the way we whooshed up yesterday, so
Yeah.
I'm not sticking my neck out here in the 1690 handle. It's gonna float down here. 1699, that's mid range or pivot for today, so I'll keep an eye on that. But do not like the 1690 handle.
Well, there is some air below, but it just seems like every time we sell off, I was noticing it yesterday at the open. I was like, a lot of stocks opened right at the lows and they started buying them right away. And 10 minutes into the day, I was even tweeting it out. They just looked like there was buyers all over the place. I know we were still down 10 S&P points, when we were looking around 945, but there were stocks going green. And once you start seeing, a lot of stocks in different sectors going green, then the whole market just follows suit, it seems like. And obviously, we closed way up on the day. They came in buying them again. People just want to buy this market every time you get a pullback. So I don't know when that trend ends, but obviously, if you're a bull, you're pretty happy about it. Looking at gold here, gold obviously being the negative correlation it has to the market right now, selling off here again. Actually, the overnight low getting way down. It looks like to 1251. We're trading 1262 right now, so we are off the lows, but still down $14 on the day.
Yeah, there's just no reason to go out and buy this gold
No.
here. It's been in a decline. You did get down to 1251 in the pre-market session. Currently trading at 1262.50. I'd like to see a pop up here, a minor intraday resistance at yesterday's low at 1268.40. So little resistance up $6 from here, but 1250. That was just a psychological number for gold. There was absolutely no number there. 1250, a nice round number like that. If you are looking for some major support in gold here today, 1242.60 was your low on July 10th.
Crude still hanging out at those lows. 101.70 is where we're trading. We're down 70 cents here in the pre-market. The $100 level looks like it's going to be, obviously, even above there. We've had pretty good support here just overnight, but 101, 101.70, we're all hanging out up here, but it has been so tight for so long, this
Yeah.
crude. When you look at this chart here, it looks like it's winding up, and I don't know if it's going to break down here or break out, but you got to get above that 104 to really have any hope of a rally, of looking a little longer term out. But if you start taking out $100, there may be some crude bulls that are going to throw in the towel.
Yeah, you're on a little bit of a string here of today would be the fifth day of a lower high, so that trend is continuing. But boy, that support, you took out the 101 support on Friday, get the 10060, but you popped out of there again. Now you're just kind of holding here in the mid 101s. Keeping an eye on the close, 102.41 if we get any kind of rally mode here. The close coincides with the current high that opening last night at 102.46. So your resistance moving down to the major resistance moving down to the 102.50 level. So it's creeping down here. But you're right, Dennis. That chart that's winding up. I hope if I put a strangle on this time that I'll put on both a put and a call. Just not the
Or maybe
put.
it'll just sit there, and strangle you to death by obviously not moving and eating up time premium. So that's the one bad thing about buying options. When you get into these ranges, they can stay in there for a while and eat away your premium. Looking here, Joel, lots of earnings today. Major companies reporting. Let's start with Johnson and Johnson, J&J. They really popped in the pre-market. Just looking here, if you can bring up the pre-market chart, I'll give you the numbers too. Buck 36 versus a buck 32, 17.6 billion versus 17.42 billion. They're raising their outlook, so stock actually lifted. Holy cow, got to 92.5. News algo overshooting there just a little bit on J&J because that would be an incredible move for a company this thick. But that being said, stock is still trading up significantly in the pre-market. Just ticked to $91 and closed at 89.80, so it is up a buck 20.
Yeah, 92.50. It hit that, and then came 2 point sell off here to 90.50. So nice range here, and Johnson and Johnson pretty good for a low beta stock here. I'm just skeptical, Dennis. I mean, this thing traded 85.50 on October 9th. What was that? Last
3 days
Thursday,
ago.
last Wednesday?
Three,
Yeah,
three,
and
three or four
yeah,
trading days ago, yeah.
right. And now you're telling me that this thing's up at 92.50? I just, boy, I don't know.
A little
I mean,
too
I don't
much
think
too
I can.
fast maybe here for
That's for me,
J&J.
man. Yeah, and I'm even looking at this 91 and a quarter level here. That was a high back on August 19th, and then when you had the first rebound off the $86 level, you got to 90.72. So I mean, I think I'm going to put that 92.50 print out of my head here and look at this 91 and a quarter, 91 and a half level as resistance. Coming down, you have a ways to go to get in yesterday's range. You got to get all the way down under 90 to 89, 89 in order to fill the gap. But how about our boy over at Goldman Sachs the other day, who was it yesterday or on Friday, came out with the upgrade of this stock? Holy
Yeah, that
mackerel.
was a good call. That was definitely a good call because obviously the
But
stock popped and the pop continued, and now they get earnings. So we'll give them some props there. Made a good call in
yeah,
J&J.
just last thing I want to mention, about this move here that you have. I mean, look how long it took for it to go from the last time to 86 to 91 and change. It took several trading sessions to do that, and now you're doing it in 5 trading sessions.
Or less.
Dennis, I want you to figure out like how far that's off the standard deviation for that move.
It's definitely an extended move for a stock as thick as Johnson and Johnson. But the one thing I do like about this chart, and I know it is a lot, and it probably will have get a pullback here eventually, is the fact that it was breaking down right before they got that upgrade day, obviously, and started moving the other way. And that was obviously when the market had the big steep rally too. I think was the day, and then J&J upgrade the next day. But you caught some people short for sure, shorting below 86. They're like, oh, it's been 86, 86, 86. Now we just traded down below 86 down to that 85.50. I'm going to sell this. I think it's going back down, 84 or 82. And they're caught because obviously the rally the next day was pretty much straight up. And then the J&J upgrade, they're caught in a 2-day rally. 2-day rally becomes a 3-day rally. 3-day rally becoming a 4-day rally. So you definitely have, a little bit of the shorts leaning the wrong way and the market leaning the wrong way too. So and that's what you always want to see. You want to see hands change. You want to see new participants. And obviously, stronger longs in there too. So I think J&J could hold as long as it stays above 90. That's going to be my bogey because 90 was resistance before, and I like the whole theory. Old support becomes new resistance. So as long as it stays above 90, I think the march can continue. But it starts taking out that and filling that gap and getting below 90 and closing below 90, then I'd get concerned.
I know I'm underwater on the 1640 versus 1840 wager, but I
1840, you're trying to cheat already. It's 1740.
1740.
1540, and look at he tries to raise it all up here. Joel trying to pull a fast one on me here in the morning. It's 1540 and 1740, and yeah, you're significantly underwater. I'm only 39 points away from a fancy steak dinner.
But I would definitely go. I mean, even though we've sold off here, I'd go 89 versus 93.
I'm not touching J&J right now. Not until
Okay.
I know
Okay.
what it's doing at this 90 area. I want to see if it can hold that today because that's a big number for this stock. So I'm sitting on my hands until I'll let the market
Okay.
figure it out and maybe make a trade after that. Citigroup reporting earnings here this morning too. Stock trading down $1.02 versus $1.04, so they missed on the bottom line. They also missed on the top line, 17.9 billion versus 18.73 billion. Stocks trading down 70 cents here in the pre-market. Kind of, I think you got some bad ticks in there, probably some crosses or something. But regardless, it's trading down here 48.95 right now, closed to 49.60 on 1.1 million shares.
You did get a little pop up there above 50, and I know you'd been talking about that from a daily perspective, that there was a lot of institutional resistance there. So
Yeah,
your boys are out there again selling at the $50
yep,
level.
big
Looking
number.
at the pre-market chart here, we got down to 48.65. We're treading above that level here. Let's look at it on a daily perspective here. Kind of tight, been kind of bunching up here. You did have multiple lows, though, Dennis. We could have a potential breakdown here in Citigroup. You had three lows between 48.55 and 48.70. You had the pre-market low at 48.65,
That where it's
and then you
starting to
got a
hold.
gap to fill here. So, boy, for you Citigroup bulls, you better hope this 48.55 level holds.
I think it's gonna rally here today. I don't know why. I think you're gonna see this thing, that 48.55 level you're talking about, maybe test it off the bat, but I think it could hold. And I think they're just looking to buy stuff like this. I don't know. This market's itching to buy things on pullbacks. Good company like this Citigroup. Obviously, a little slight miss, on the earnings report, but I think they could come in, and it wouldn't surprise me if
Did you
this
call
thing.
it a good company?
You don't like the $5? Well, people, they've turned it all around since the financial crisis. The $5 stock that it really is, it's doing okay. It got down to
Okay.
under $1. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay, I
Okay.
take
Good.
back the good company. I won't say it's good because if you bought this thing at $50 before the financial crisis, you're probably yelling at
Yes.
me right now. But maybe you'd have the shares there too. I'm just joking with you. Let's move on here. Domino's.
There's a good company. There's a chart that Dennis likes.
That's a chart that. Okay, I
There.
take it all back. Anyways,
That is
they're looking to buy stuff right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they came in here buying Citigroup too.
okay. Sorry.
Coca-Cola, see, and Coca-Cola reports, and they actually miss, and they're buying them. This is how much they want to own stuff right now. Anyways, Coca-Cola 53 cents versus 54, 12.03 billion versus 12.06 billion. Miss on the top, miss on the bottom, doesn't matter. They want to own stocks right now. Stock is up 50 cents here in the pre-market, trading at 38.42.
You got up to 38.68. You've had a little dip since that. Got as low as looks like 38 and a quarter. You are busting over some significant resistance here at the $38 level. Last three highs between 37.86 and 37.95. So you might get a situation here where the paper in the book holds the stock down a little bit. I just don't think it's going to open up 50 cents. I mean, those earnings weren't that good. So looking to perhaps get a lower open and buy it, but I don't think I'd be happy buying here at 38, at 38.40. You had a high at 38.58 on September 27th. So I'd look at that as a resistance level. Probably got some paper kicking around at 38.50 as well.
There is a little bit at 38, but we'll have to see if they can take that out in the pre-market. It's trade 100,000 shares, so it'll probably, I think it's going to open above 38, but I don't know if that'll hold the open price down or not. Domino's Pizza reported earnings here too. 51 cents versus 52 cents, so slight miss there. 12.03 billion or 404.1 million versus 402.36 million. So they beat on the top line, miss on the bottom line. Stock selling off almost $2 right now, trading 67.37, closed at 68.85.
Got down to 66, Dennis, and now since then you've had a pop up to the 67.50 level. Someone definitely has an opinion here. It hasn't been able to get back above 67.50 here in the last half hour or so. So I'd be keeping an eye on that. Is a resistance point. Looking at the dailies here, I mean this stock has just had one
Just
heck,
keeps
yeah,
running.
yeah, yeah, and now you have an earnings report that's not satisfactory. Take a look at the pre-market low 66. That got a little bit out of control here. But if you go back to last week and last Wednesday and Thursday, you had a double bottom at 66.54 to 66.63. So I think that's where your initial support's going to come in here in DPZ, the Ann Arbor, Michigan company.
If you go out to the weeklies and you look at the trend though from May of 2012, this is the straightest trend you ever will see. It is just straight. Look at that trend. It is just straight up here. Actually, go back farther than that because even it looks even better when you back it up just a little bit farther, even out to the weeklies. Because we're looking at from April when it's trading down just under $30 here, all the way up and straight up. Well, now you're going a little bit too far. But look at that. Look at that trend right there from 2012. How do you get anything straighter than that? That's just straight up. Draw a pencil on your, like Jeff Mackey used to take your purple crayon, draw a line on that chart, and as long as it holds above that chart, bulls are in charge. That is crazy straight. One more here to talk about, which is going to be your disaster stock of the day. It looks like TDC. Wow. Terra Data Corp is trading down here right now. Looks like $8. The earnings were absolutely terrible. 69 cents versus, yeah, 69 cents versus 81. 665 million versus 698 million. They lowered full year guidance. 270 to 280 estimates were up over $3. Getting downgraded at Goldman Sachs, Stern AG, Credit Suisse, so everybody ganging up on the stock too. And this stock is getting killed here this morning on 1.1 million shares.
Yeah, you did hit 43.53. Got a little bit of a rounding bottom here, Dennis. You are finding buyers under 44. We are trading at 43.81 here, 43.53 low. A couple interesting things about this chart, and if you're following a pattern, going into earnings, I mean, look at that stock over the last month or so, just straight down, lower highs, lower
They were leaning
lows.
the right way there.
Yeah, boy, the street was all over this one, and then you had the last five lows right around the $52 level,
Yeah.
settled at 52.58. So that if it ever gets back up to 52,
Forget about that number.
that's going to be
43.85. That's long gone.
Let's see if we can find.
I found some.
You found
December,
support?
back on December, the week of December 23rd, on 2011.
Oh yeah,
43.77 is where we were trading on the low that week. So I had to go way back to find that, but that's where we're at right now. So there is a little bit of support down here where we're treading water here in the pre-market, but I don't know if that's enough support to keep holding this thing up or not.
yeah, 43, right, and then you get further confirmation of that low if you go back to
August
August
2011.
of 2011, and then you go back another time. 43.27 was the
Yeah.
low in February of 2011. So hey, we found support here, and the pre-market's confirming
43
it. So,
handle.
43, yeah, 43. Someday it's going to be a buy.
Someday. We don't know when. Lots of upgrades and downgrades. Well, actually, just a couple key ones I do want to focus on, though, which is the first one is Tesla. It's getting upgraded at Wedbush here today. They're raising their price target up to 240 from 180, and the stock is responding very, very well here in the pre-market. It's up almost $6 right now, trading at 185.60. Went out at 179.72. And here's a stock that everybody had for dead just 4 trading sessions ago. Cars were on fire, but the bottom of the range held, and here's Tesla marching back, and look, all of a sudden we're only 8 points off the all-time high.
You're right. Looking at 185.95, that was the high in the pre-market. You do have, if you go back a little bit here, you did have a high on 182.50. That was a high that you already have taken that out. That was the high that you had a few days ago. Double top here, not really a double top. 185.93 to 186.73. That was a pretty bigger resistance level before you had to break down. Almost got to 186 in the pre-market. So opening up into a little bit of resistance on this upgrade.
The momentum stocks, though, are starting to carry momentum here again. I wouldn't be surprised if this momentum just continued in Tesla, because look at what Netflix did yesterday. We'll just go to that briefly, because Netflix, obviously, they were in talks with streaming on with Comcast there, and it opened up and had a little sell-off just off the hop, but then just straight up, just continued to rally all day. Got up to 324.36, which is actually approaching the all-time highs, just $7 or $8 off of those. So Netflix closing near the highs too on the day. You can see a little bit of good news, and everybody comes back to buy these issues. And it wouldn't surprise me if they follow suit in Tesla like they did in Netflix yesterday. Let's look here. Just move on. One more upgrade. One more upgrade there, Joel. I just want to talk about is Microsoft. Microsoft getting upgraded at Jefferies here this morning, and it's been on a little bit of a tear here too. It's funny how just the slow, steady march, this quiet march here, but all of a sudden we're now trading back up near the August highs at 34.80 right now. Closed at 34.45. Jefferies up in their price target up to $42 from $33. Joel, you still there? We might have lost Joel here. Anyways, guys, I think we're having some technical difficulties, so we're going to end it there today. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.